morning. What's up, folks? JT here with another Chart Talk Live. It is September 4th. It's a Thursday. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me get over to the chat here. Let me get my screen sharing started. There we go. That looks good. YouTube looks good. All right. We are in it. Let's go. What the hell is this? I don't want that little... Yeah, whatever. It's a Discord thing. I'll let it be. All right. Let's get some folks in here. Where is everybody this morning? Main option. There we go. All right. Sorry for the dead air for a second there. My apologies. All right. Let's get some folks in here. What is up? Painting trader? Let me get back to the chat here. There we go. Good morning, painting trader. How are you? Hope you're doing well. What's up, checker? Good morning to you. Hope everything's going well this morning. All right, we're getting ready to dig in to some trade planning and trade reviews here. Hope you all are doing good this morning. Good morning to the folks on the YouTube side of things. What's up, Day Trade Options? Good to see you. What's up, Navy Plum? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Andrea. Unfortunately, I am not feeling better, but I've got my MRI today, so step one to hopefully getting some resolution on these nagging, never-ending neck pain issues will be not too far off in the future here. All right, so let's dig in. We've got some folks in the mix. Let's get started. So things have continued to bounce here on ES. Nice push off of this 63.7150 level. Did push below what was looking like a bearish breakdown there below 63.89, but we did find support just below. Didn't quite get to some of those lower price targets there on ES, but things have rapidly recovered. I think Google pumping pretty hard had quite a bit to do with that, and then Apple also getting some big pumps has also helped with that. Good news on Google not having to, I guess, kind of fracture off some of their key showpieces like Chrome. And then Apple partnering with Google for AI. Apple's been kind of getting a lot of flack. Excuse me. Sorry, let me get some of this coffee in. Apple has been getting a lot of flack for not doing more in the AI space. Well, now they've partnered with Google, so that's obviously got their stock price moving up. Both of those being big names and heavyweights in the overall weighting of the S&P 500, aka SPY, ES, etc. So clearly, those moving up has provided some updraft for the market as it pulled back. So running into some key resistances here, though, back testing this 200 and 333 SMA combo in the bearish flag there. on NTS. So running into some key resistance right now. Will be interesting to see if we can push through that. Certainly looks like there could wind up being some short the rip opportunities, as long as we're continuing to kind of struggle with these resistances overhead. So keep an eye on all of that. Let's get to some trade plan recaps, and then let's get to some new trade plan requests. If you guys have any questions, any tickers you want me to take a look at, please feel free to go ahead and start dropping those in the chats, and we'll get to work on those just as soon as we can. We've got Palantir, Apple, and MicroStrategy from Tuesday's live stream that we're going to take a look at. And then we'll get to work on those new ticker requests. So feel free to start dropping those or any questions you guys may have in the chats. And we'll get to those just as soon as we can. All right. So, trade plan recaps. Let's get through these. Palantir. This was one of our requests from Tuesday's live stream. It did already give us a breakout and hit PT1 there within the trading day. It was very quick and very moved very quickly and happened within the first 30 minutes of the trading day. So this would have been an easy one to miss unless you were super aggressive about getting into the entry there. But as we always say, when we see some of these plans kind of rip right out of the gates and make big moves, and start hitting price targets kind of early on into the day on these rapid upside moves, just be patient, let the trade come to you. Excuse me. And as you can see, we had a great example of that yesterday. So if you refused to chase this move to the upside or missed it, whatever the case might be, we did get a fantastic back test here yesterday out of the gates, pulled back after again breaking up and giving us at least PT1 there on Tuesday, pulled back yesterday, gave us that back test entry opportunity and absolutely ripped through two price targets, $7 plus move there. Just in the first hour of the trading day. So remember to always keep these back test opportunities on watch, especially after we've gotten those confirmed breaks. So Palantir has played out for some upside price targets, gave us some back test options. So all of that playing out nicely to the upside. Apple played out nicely. Unfortunately, it all played out after hours. With that news of their partnership with Google for AI. So, while this plan did play out very nicely, not super actionable from an option standpoint, unfortunately, but the plan did play out. Sometimes that is the case, and that's what happens. You just kind of have to let those ones pass you by if they happen outside of the cash trading hours, or the cash session, I should say. And then MicroStrategy, this one's been a little bit of a frustrating one, I would say, for me personally. I'm surprised we didn't get that continuation there really at all. So perhaps a little bit of a fake out or liquidity sweep to the upside here on MicroStrategy above the call entry. Oh, excuse me. Let me get some more of this coffee. So, did look like a good confirmed break to the upside, but has since pulled back, broken down below the stop loss average down level, and definitely has some pressure overhead in this 333.77 to 338.27 range. So MicroStrategy stuck back in the range between our put and call entry, so keep an eye on it. If we do see one of these plans play out, whether it be to the upside or the downside, we could finally get some continuation and start seeing some price targets hit despite that fake out earlier in the week. What's up, Chris? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. So let's get going on some new trade plan requests. Let me get through some of these chat items. Thank you very much, Day Trade Options, for all the advice there. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to do all of those things. I think it's just, unfortunately, there is a disc herniation that is literally just pushing into my spinal cord. And so some key nerves there on the left side of my neck. So, I think it's going to be an epidural and and possibly, followed by surgery, but we'll see. I'm doing my best to just get through it with, unfortunately, what is quite a bit of medication. But yeah, I'll take all the advice and all the help I can get. MRIs today, so that will certainly give me some better ideas of what's going on, and hopefully we'll have some non-narcotic therapy and treatment, um, you know, in the not too distant future, so I'm not all, looped up all day every day. But I really do appreciate everybody's kind words and concern and advice, and again, I'll take all the help I can get. um Ooh, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that, Tremblant. Much appreciated. All right, so let's get on some new ticker requests. I see any in here. Oh, Chris is the first one. Slid in here with the with the Mickey Mouse call. Wants to take a look at Disney. Haven't looked at Disney in a while. Sure, we could take a look at that. Let's get going. All right, and thank you again so much, everybody, for your kind words, suggestions, concerns. It is all much, much appreciated. Yeah, I like that call on gold, LB. So yeah, let's take a look at that too. All right, so we'll start with Chris's request. Let's get into some Disney here. All right, Disney. It's been a while since I've looked at this one. Just get our bearings on this real quick. All right, let's clean this chart up a bit. I'll get rid of this extra stuff. Sorry. Give me just a sec. Yeah, I don't need that anymore, or that, or that, or that, or that. There we go. All right, cool. Okay, now we're starting with a good framework to start building up this trade plan from. I'm gonna go out a little bit on these time frames and just, again, Disney's one I haven't looked at in quite a while. It can be a little bit of a, I don't know what the right word for it is. The price action on it's a little weird sometimes. That level clearly needs to be there. $333 coming up right here below this key support at 116.28. That's starting to look like an interesting put entry. Is it just a little bit lower? Again, sometimes these levels can shift around a little bit over time. It's, like I said, certainly been a while since I've looked at the Disney chart. Yeah, I do like this as a put entry. I do like that as a first target down there to 114.32. I could also certainly see, although there is a level right up in this neck of the woods. I don't think it's going to be a factor in hitting the next price target, but it's there. I want to get it on my chart. Yeah, it's right here. I don't think that's going to be a factor, but while I'm here checking out things, let's go ahead and put it on the chart just in case it does become a factor at some point in the future. Yeah, and pretty clearly we're looking for a move down to 110.53 below 112.27 on this downside trade plan. So let's see, where is a good stop loss? I think we're really testing it right on it here pre-market. Just want to get the right level on here. I think it's, yeah, it's sitting right about here. Yep, I'm gonna go with it. It's being right here. Good stop loss average down. So the upside for Disney, where does that start to open up and get interesting? Does look good for a move to the upside. The question for me is there a decent window that opens up? Definitely interested in this 118.55 level though. I'm just worried that it could come up a little bit short and we've got a bad risk reward over this level, but let's see if we can nail that down. Whoops, wrong way. Hmm. Yeah, I think it came a little bit short on the last push over this level, but I think if we get another push, we can complete the move up to 119.93. We can share the stop loss with the downside plan. That does give us, I think, semi-decent risk reward. Over that, yeah, I'd be looking at this 120.88 level, just below that weekly resistance. then I think, yeah, we do get a move up here. All right, sorry, that took a second. But like I said, Disney's price action can be it's a little hard to read, I guess is probably the right way to say it. Tight price targets to the upside. I think we've got okay risk reward. Let's see as we plan this out. Whoops. 1855 takes us to 119.93, 120.88, and 122.03. Stop loss average down. Put entry 116.11 down to 114.32, 112.27, and 110.53. Stop loss average down on this. Well, it's shared actually. All right. That's right. TPN. Don't play. Let's go. All right. Yep. Decent risk reward on both sides. Obviously, like I said, tight price targets to the upside there, but that's just how the chart reads to me. That's my take on it. All right, let's get this tightened up a bit. That looks good. Okay, cool. Boom. Let's clean up this chart. All right, here we go. This is your DIS live stream plan. Spell everyone right. Okay, let's get this locked in. Make sure that copied right. I don't know why that looked wrong to me for a second. Let's get these alerts set. That looks good. We'll give this a week. On the alerts. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Let's, last but not least, so we know when we put this plan into effect. So what are we looking for here on Disney? We are looking for a break over 118.55 to potentially hit some upside targets for us at 119.93, 120.88, and 122.03 with a stop loss average down at 117.37. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 116.11. That should give price targets at 114.32, 112.27, and 110.53 with a shared stop loss average down with the upside trade plan at 117.37. Those are your DIS live stream plans. Let's go. All right. What was our next ticker in the queue here? I think it was gold actually. Sorry, I'm just reading through the. Actually, what GWS, is that a ticker or is that an acronym for something that I'm just not figuring out? JC. GWS. Is that a ticker? If it is, I've never heard of it. Nah. I think that means something else. But I don't know. Something go with strength? I don't know. What is GWS, JC? It's an acronym I'm not on top of, unfortunately. All right, let's take a look at gold. Golly, it's clearly been a long time since I've looked at this. I don't have any levels up in this range. Gold is ripping. Flight to safety a little bit. All right. let's clean this up. All these levels that are not super relevant anymore. It's all right. Let's work on some new ones. All-time highs for gold. Man, yeah, big, really nice breakout of this weekly bullish pennant pattern right here. For those who don't see it, there's your flag stick. There's your pennant. Whoops. Don't need that anymore. All right, let's get some new levels. Oh, God dang it. Stop doing that. Let's get some new levels on this chart. Lots of resistance up here. Clearly no support. That was the top of this bullish pennant. So keep an eye on this. Don't think it's a weekly level though. At least not yet. Not confirmed. There's something interesting here, but I'm not totally sure. What that is yet either. That is an interesting. No, I'm just looking at one candle. We'll take a look at that on some smaller time frames, but an interesting rejection off that 289.27. The other thing that we're going to need to do is trace out some trend-based fib extensions here. That will provide the majority of our upside price targets, I have no doubt. Yeah, we definitely based off that candle for this first move to all-time highs. All right, let's nail that in. Lock that in, nail it in, whatever. Nail it in sounds weird. So interestingly enough, on that trend-based extension, we are running in to the first extension here pre-market, finding some resistance there. Technically, that's a part of the fib set. All right, let's go to some smaller time frames here and see if we can't lock this in now. Get me back to, there we go. Yeah, I mean, it really perfectly nailed that fib extension, so this looks like a good set of extensions. Long story short there. Got a little bit of a gap down here that was prior resistance. We'll want to keep an eye on that. So the question really starts to become, where's the opportunities? Let's take a look, slightly smaller time frame. Small gap up here too, actually. It's already filled, but I think we can use this gap level. Let's use the bottom of this gap. It's really sitting, well, it's just above, I think right about here. So, man, that's a big move potentially here. It's filled. So this last set of extensions took us up to that 329.56. We're going to do some more fib extension wizardry here. Question is, where does that really base off of? Yeah, okay. So let's throw one more set in here based on this. Let's see how that sets us up. All right, here's what I want to do with this. Sorry, it's taken me a second. I know I've been in fib land for a minute. I want to take a shot at this breaking over this current all-time high on gold. We've got some targets in place. I think kind of reading between the lines here a little bit. Yeah, I think we've got a good stop loss right here. I'm going to put this as a kind of still working it out level. Could give us okay risk reward to the upside. I think that 326.80 is going to wind up being a downside. Stop loss average down level. I think our put entry is sitting right about here. Again, kind of a testing or reading minimal price action here. So keep that in mind. Should give us a move down to here, though, if it does break below. 321.62. Below that, there is this gap to fill to the downside. I have this upper level a little bit off because we drew it on a higher time frame. I think testing that gap makes for a good second price target, and then filling the gap. So kind of a big move down, but that's because we have a fair value gap to the downside that still needs to fill. So kind of a big move down to PT1, and then we start running into more stacked potential supports. So definitely a little bit of a wonky looking, just hide this for now so it's not in the way. Definitely wonky looking trade plans, but overall, that's just how this chart reads to me. Oh, get well soon. Thank you, JC. I appreciate. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that. That's kind of obvious. Thank you for that. Somehow I did not know that already. All right. Let's get this locked in. Put entry. not a shared stop loss. Wait a second. $326.80. And oh, duh. Let's adjust that just a little bit. Yeah, I had it right there. Looks good. Cool. All right. So, like I said, sort of wonky looking trade plans, but that's just where the levels are at. Let's follow the charts. Copy this link. Here is your gold live stream plan. And let's get this over to the elite chat. Get our link. Lock in our template here. Set our alerts. All right, let's talk through this one last time. What are we looking for here on gold? We're looking for a break above 329.56 for new all-time highs and a test of 331.88 and then on up to 335.64 and 338.78 with a stop loss average down at 327.62. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 324.92. That should give us targets at 321.62, 319.56, and 318.05 with the stop loss average down at 326.80. Those are your gold live stream plans. Let's go. Let's get after them. All right. What do we have next on the ticker requests? Cool. We don't have a third ticker request. Lots of conversation. Good conversation. What do y'all have? Let's do one more. I think I've got time. If it's one that I've already got some good levels on, we can get one more trade plan in the mix here. If you guys have a ticker request, go ahead and hit me with it in the chat. And let's get one more in the mix. PLTR. We just did PLTR, Tremblet. We've got an existing plan on it. Got our back test there yesterday. I'd say follow this existing plan until something changes. You got another one? Lay's. Ooh, Lay's is, yeah. Lay's. Let's talk about it. Oh, you're good. No problem, man. There's a plan already in place for it. It's in the live stream chat. Or sorry, the Elite Xtrades chat, but also in the live stream. So yeah, let's talk about Lay's. This is an interesting one. Let's talk about our last plan, the trade that we actually executed on Lay's. We took our initial share entry down here off of 382. We had a let's add if we get down to 316, and we'll cut the trade entirely below 245. With targets taking us all the way up to 724. So this is a plan that we literally just executed along with alerts, updates. This one was given to us by the Top Tickers, which is our AI scanner at Xtrades that gives, everybody, but especially members of the top earners team some tickers for us to focus on based on I don't even know how that thing's programmed, but it comes up with some great stock picks for us to take a look at. So we took our initial position there at 382. We added down here at 316. I think it was somewhere in this neck of the woods down there at 316. And we took all of our profits up there at 724. And look at the pullback that happened off that level that we called out well in advance. So this Lay's plan, absolutely flawless. That would be a flawless victory in the world of Mortal Kombat. But it is now breaking below this 245 key support. Tried to hold it on that massive continuation to the downside. Did not hold it. Looks like it's flipped to resistance now. So what happens with the Lays next is the question. But we absolutely crushed that. I mean, it could not. What was the high of this candle? High of that candle was 725. Our ultimate target for the trade was 724. And it has pulled back to below 245. It's pulled back almost $5 off of that level. That's a pat yourself on the back moment on this trade plan for old JT. We absolutely crushed this one. All right, let's figure out what we want to do with it next, though. Well, no bag holders here. I mean, 725 was our ultimate profit exit. We took profit along the way, all the way up to 725, and absolutely nailed the top. I think we called it out a few days in advance. Yeah, oh yeah, if you were buying that top, you were... that's bad news bears right there. Moochie, wait, did you say buy the dip? I did not say buy the dip. Not yet. All right, let's take a look at this. 70 cents is the all-time low. It hasn't tested 171 this week. No way. That does not look right to me. It's 2023. Oh yeah, I guess it did. Never mind. I take that back. It has tested that level. Okay. All right. Where do we want to set some supports? I mean, it could wind up being a buy the dip, but let's not rush. There's clearly weekly level here. Another one here just below that. Could be that we have, we'll check this on the next time frame, but could be that we have a daily level there at 99 cents. Probably also a bit of a psychological level, right around $1. All-time lows, let's mark that off. Any other key levels in here that I want to keep an eye on? Yes, the answer is yes. One right there at 280. Four. Okay. My Jordan belt. Don't tell anybody. This is my secret hobby, doing trade plans for all my friends trying to climb the ranks of the trading world. All right. How do we want to approach this? This is definitely an interesting one. Listen, if you're here in the mix with us at Xtrades, you're all my friends. You're all people that I support and want to see do well, and will do everything I can to help in the process. All right, that's an interesting level there. Okay, how do we want to approach this? Don't really think that there is a downside plan on this per se, because the downside is so limited. Let's get into some of these hour time frames. I can have $1,000. I mean, I don't even give my family money. No, I'm just kidding. I give my family money when they need it. Fortunately, those requests don't come very often. There's a level sitting in here too. I just wonder how we plan this for the downside, and I'm probably getting into the weeds on this a little bit, as I tend to do. All right, let's do this. Let's go. Think if we can get a break over 280, things do start to get interesting. That's a gosh, I'm thinking that that's not a big deal, but then I have to remember this is trading around the $2 time frame, and that's technically that's a 30% move from here. Um, so is there a earlier entry? That's the question. Yeah, all right, let's take a shot. Then we'll use 280 as our first target in that scenario. This needs a little tweak here, down to there. Over 280, we're then looking for 314. And over 314, then we're looking for 349. Could this level move a little bit? Very tiny little bit, but we're talking about something trading in this in the $2 range. Pennies can make all the difference. Give this room down to 216 for the stop loss. Just don't know how we really plan a downside plan on this. It's going to be very limited. Strikes are going to be weird. There's just not a lot of meat on the bone to the downside. All right, let's just do, I don't do this often, but we're just going to do an upside only plan on this. I just don't think there's just not a lot of money left to be made on the downside. It's really what it comes down to. So let's see, if I'm going to do that, then I'm just going to put in, I don't know. Have to do 0.5. Those. There we go. So then, for the upside, we'll do this. This would be a great one to trade shares on. Could even load up shares and maybe get to a point where selling some covered calls makes a lot of sense. We'll see. Yeah, that's absolutely right. LB, I don't ever give out money with the expectation of getting it back, because that just creates an opportunity for souring the relationship. You're dead right about that. If somebody needs it, just give it to them. Can I get that any tighter? A little bit? Yeah, all right. So this is going to be a one-sided trade plan on this one. Lays, we crushed once. Let's see if we can crush it again. Over 349, it could definitely make even bigger moves. But here we go. Here is our live stream plan, and then I need to go get to work on the SPY plan. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2 on lays here. Right, let's get to the chart. Let's get current. All right. Alert. Perfect. Get it to next week to give us some opportunities here. Let's lock in our template. Almost forgot. All right, so what are we looking for here on lays? We're looking for a break over 245 for targets at 280, 314, and 349 with a stop loss average down at 216. All right, I do need to go get to work on this daily SPY plan. I really do appreciate everybody's well wishes and thinking of me as I try to get this chronic pain issue sorted out. That is much appreciated. Thank you for the great conversation this morning, and thank you for taking some time out of your day to join me here as we get ready for another trading day at Xtrades. We will be back next Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I hope you all will come back and join me then. We'll get to work on some more trade plans, and we'll do some trade plan recaps to see how these plans that we've put together this week are playing out. So until next Tuesday, this is JT with another Chart Talk Live. I hope you all have enjoyed it. As we always say here on Chart Talk Live, plan your trades, trade your plans. Remember, we're looking for profits, not perfection. So keep those wins big, keep those losses small. Go out there and get some green, secure the bag. All the great catchphrases in the trading world. So I will see you all next Tuesday at 8:30, and I will see you in the chats. Until then, SPY plan coming at you here ASAP. Until then, take care. Have a great day, everybody. I will talk to you soon.